So if your media room, music listening room, or even studio sound, anything like this was the exact same situation that I was in when I was setting up my studio. It sounded just like a bathroom and I had to deal with a lot of these echoes and reverbs. So not that this is a very scientific method, I am using the microphone that's inbuilt into my camera and I will be using this same microphone throughout the rest of the video so you have an idea as to how different the sound is. So anyway, let's move from what my studio sounded like to what it sounds like now. That's thanks to the help of a lot of acoustic paneling that I've done. Now, a year back, I went onto Amazon looking for what I can use. Now, usually what you can buy on Amazon is a lot of foam pads that come in sort of square shapes. I've got a few of those on the upper part of the walls. They work to a certain extent, but they don't work as well as these panels right behind me. And the panels I'm talking about behind me are made in India by a company called Timber Acoustics. These are made and shipped out of their Faridabad unit across the country. So it turns out I've had these panels for about a year and I had one of their representatives remind me about that very thing because they asked me what my experience was with them. So I said instead of writing back to them, I might as well just make a video. So if anybody's out there who needs these kind of issues resolved of echoes and a lot of slapback from other sound waves that they want to get rid of, this could be your way to go. So why do I like Timber Acoustics over these foam pads? Now for one, I am running a YouTube channel, so having these strewn across my walls won't exactly look the best. These come in various finishes. I think you can get them now in the color you see behind me, a maroon, a beige and maybe a black. But if you do want any custom colors, shapes or sizes, you can of course get in touch with them via their contact us link on their website. Now, if you do want to see the entire range of what they do have now, it's worthwhile visiting their website. Having a mellower sound in my room has helped me significantly. Earlier, when they had this option to buy panels, you could buy, I think, a set of 3 with the different shapes and sizes. So I've got one that's a bit wider, one that's a bit thinner and taller than the other one. But now they do have room kits. So if you consult with one of them, they will advise you as to what panels would make the most difference in your room, whether you need ceiling panels or just wall panels and so on. So it's worthwhile getting in touch with them if you do have bespoke needs. So what do I think about these in the long run? Because I've had these for about a year. They've held up pretty well. There's of course no real usage in the sense I'm not carrying them and taking them all over the place. So there's no real wear and tear. Having said that though, this is made of some really good material. So the inside of the panel has got a whole lot of rock wool, so it deadens the sound. The frame is made out of pine wood, so you know it's going to be strong, it's going to be robust. It's not going to fall apart. I have drilled a few holes into it so it can hold the columns to hang it up. In fact, let me show you what I've done with this. So here's the panel. This is the material they have on it. It's some sort of fabric and it's very easy to clean if you do want to clean it. If I ever find that this has gotten a bit dusty, I just run my vacuum across it. So all the dust sort of just disappears into that. The panel does have rock wool inside it. So again, a non-scientific test here. I'm talking directly into the camera and now I'm talking from behind the rock wool. I don't know if you can hear me too well, but this is not sound suppression. You're not going to put these up on your walls to keep outside volumes down. It's not going to soundproof your room. This is going to help absorb all the sounds that are bouncing off the walls so that you don't have any reflections of your music or even off of your recordings. And the back of it, you get these little hooks that you can put onto the wall. I've sort of bent these out of shape a bit for a reason. These LED strips you see at the back here do not come with this. I've done this myself because obviously it looks a lot nicer when there's some light behind it. At least this is what I like. You could do this yourself if you want. I mean, there's no hard and fast rule, but I've just stuck this behind it. It looks nice. I like the way these work. I like the way it looks. I've plugged in the LEDs into a little battery which just rests on top of them. And it's easy enough to put back up. So even if you do want to move it around, say if you want to take it from your studio to some other place where you want to do a recording, or if you want to move it to your listening room, or if you want to play an instrument, put it behind the piano, put it near your guitars and play. It'll help reduce the echoes and bounce off the walls. So once you go on their website, I've got a list of things you can get from them actually. These are absorption panels with the rock wool in them. and these are fire resistant and water resistant if I'm not mistaken, but don't quote me on that. So I've got these absorption panels that have been doing a terrific job over the last year. They do also have bass traps, so if you do have really intense subwoofers, there are some folk who have a single one, double subwoofers. It depends on the placement in the room. But if you have a lot of bass buildup, you can pick up bass traps to help control the excess bass in your rooms. They have those. They also make diffusers, and I think you can also customize these. These are also made out of pine wood. Not only do they look absolutely stunning, but they do a terrific job. Well, at least from the few I've heard that are not Timber Acoustics, they do tend to diffuse certain frequencies that could be worrying you during your movie watching or music listening experience. And as I mentioned, they do have room kits. So if you're setting up an entire room, you can tell them the size and you can figure out how many you need for that specific room, and I'm sure they'll be more than happy to help you. So a little note for you guys is that Timber Acoustics has not paid me to do this. I'm not affiliated with them in any way. It's just that their panels have genuinely benefited me and they are expanding as a company. And if you're into the whole make in India, buy from India, it's worthwhile having a look at these guys' work because they do a terrific job with the finish and it looks terrific in the room instead of just having foam pads plastered from edge to edge. Should you want to line edge to edge of your room with these panels, it can be done. I have left a gap between panels intentionally because I don't want every single inch of my walls to be covered and absorbed. I do like a little bounce off because at least I believe it makes my speakers sound a little more alive than in a dead zone. A completely dead room you'd most probably want if you were an editor, if you were recording a lot of audio through microphones, be it vocals or instruments, and of course if you want a completely flat recording signal and a completely flat editing signal if you're doing a lot of mixes. So there you go. If you are interested in killing a bit of the echo in your room, it's worthwhile having a look at these guys. It's entirely up to you to see if you're interested in them or not. Their pricing I think has changed a bit since I bought some of them last year. So I'm not going to tell you how much they cost. It's worthwhile going and seeing how much they're charging you now, be it on Amazon or on their website. And it's worthwhile getting in touch with them if you're interested in buying some of their stuff. And of course, if this video did help you in any way and you did like it, remember to like and subscribe. It does help the channel. And thank you for tuning into Paul's POV for some sound advice. There's something that... What? Yeah. What?